Last week I made the mistake of commenting that the weather was getting warmer and the motorcycle season was just around the corner. Now obviously the motorcycle gods heard this and thought they would teach me a lesson. And this week the temperatures have plummeted to sub-zero. It's been snowing on and off for 3 days and it's currently blowing a gale outside, which sort of put paid to any ideas that I had for the Friday video this week, because the items that I did have held in a queue nearly all required some form of outdoor filming on the bike. But as luck would have it, last week Square Deals Limited got in touch with me and asked me if I would like to review one of their vintage 68 range of motorcycle seats for the T120 and the other water-cooled bikes. And it landed on my doorstep on Wednesday morning. So I thought I'd have a look at that seat this week. Now obviously with the weather conditions I can't do much more than show you it and fit it, but rest assured as the weeks go on I'll tell you a little bit more about it and we'll see how it measures up to my expectations. Aftermarket seats for the Triumph T120 so far have been quite thin on the ground, and generally speaking they do come with a pretty high price tag. Now this is their vintage 68 Brat Style diamond stitched seat. It comes finished in an antique leather look seat grade vinyl, which does seem quite thick and I'm sure it'll be hard wearing. It's got a nice deep diamond stitch pattern. The stitching looked good, I couldn't find any obvious flaws anywhere. It is a very square, almost sort of lozenge shaped seat with a flat front end narrowing towards the back and a sort of slab shaped rear end. Now being a Brat Style seat, obviously it is much shallower than a conventional seat. It's designed to sit on top of the frame rails rather than wrapping around the frame rails as a conventional seat would. This gives the seat a much more minimalistic look, which is a trademark of the Brat Style. Now this seat has been built onto a glass reinforced plastic pan. It's handmade, and I know I have criticised GRP seat pans in the past, but this is actually one of the better ones. It's been well finished, although it does have that handmade look about it, which I suppose if you look at it from a purity point of view, being a Brat Style seat, that's exactly how it should look. Obviously GRP is too hard for the cover to be stapled in place, so it's been drilled and the cover's been fastened in place using blind pot rivets, which will arguably be stronger than the stainless steel staples that we're used to seeing. It has an aluminium plate riveted onto the nose of the seat that's designed to hook underneath the tank. Although not ideal, this isn't a deal breaker. Before fitting I just used a very thin neoprene self-adhesive gasket under the rear end of the petrol tank, and that will prevent any wear on the paintwork and exclude any future paint damage. And at the rear it has the usual post to engage into the locking mechanism. Now there are various rubber cushions fastened to the underside of this seat which are designed to fit in with the contours of the seat rail. And again, these are all areas that will take some breaking in. I discovered initially that a very firm pressure was required to engage the lock mechanism, but then I realised that I'd left the leather straps in place for the panniers. These do have quite a high top hat spacer assembly holding them in place, and once I'd removed them it did actually fit a lot better, although there was still some resistance. But this isn't uncommon even with factory seats, so I would expect that to ease up with time as the seat beds in. Now Brat Style is a much overused expression these days. Basically, if you like, it's a customization discipline which was first pioneered by a particular Tokyo custom bike shop a decade or so ago, which has been copied the world over. And the basic design brief is that it's a very much a homemade look, a minimalistic look, which is budget friendly, fun and practical. And in that respect I think that this seat does hit the mark. This seat intentionally leaves the seat rails exposed, and it is substantially shorter than the standard seat, leaving a reassuring gap at the front between the seat and the tank, so you know the tank's not going to get damaged, and also leaving more of the frame exposed at the rear. Having said that, it doesn't compromise seat capacity, and the actual footprint, for want of a better word, the seating area, is the same as it is on the original seat. Initially, I wasn't too sure about this seat, especially when I first unpacked it, but as the filming for this video progressed, I grew to like it more and more. It is substantially cheaper than other seats that I've seen, and although we do tend to get spoiled by high-tech injection moulded seat pans and that factory look that all custom manufacturers strive for, it does have somehow a sort of a handmade honesty that appeals to me. It does feel firm when you sit on it, but again, it's a new seat and I do expect it to soften up as it's broken in. And the great thing about it, unlike some of the seats on the market, is that it does allow you to retain the grab rail and the back rack if you need them. Although arguably this style of seat isn't going to look right with the standard mudguard. There's no doubt about it, this is a nice looking seat, and it's the ideal choice for anyone that's going for a Brat-esque look to their custom build. I'll let you know how I get on with it in the coming months, and for now I'll leave a link to Square Deal's website for this particular seat in the video description down below. Now I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that you've found it useful. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back next Wednesday where we'll be taking a look at my new King Dick torque wrench and one or two other little bits and pieces. So until then, please ride carefully in this weather and I'll see you soon.